The Irish winds howled, rain lashed against the crumbling stone walls. Loftus Hall stood defiant, a grim silhouette against the stormy sky. For centuries, whispers of dark secrets and restless spirits have clung to this decaying mansion. Locals speak of it with fear in their eyes. They know its history. They know the legend. The devil himself once walked its halls. The story begins in the late 1700s. The Tottenham family lived within the grand house. One night, a ferocious storm battered the Wexford coast. Waves crashed against the cliffs, threatening to swallow the land itself. It was a night when any traveller caught outside would meet a watery grave. A sharp rap echoed from the front door. The Tottenhams, gathered around a warm fire, looked up in surprise. Who would dare venture out on such a night? Charles Tottenham, the master of the house, cautiously approached the door. He peered through a window. A tall, handsome stranger stood on the doorstep, drenched and shivering. Charles, known for his hospitality, couldn't leave a man to die in the storm. He opened the door. The stranger stepped inside, bringing with him the chill of the night. He was elegant and charming. He captivated the family with his wit and stories of far-off lands. The Tottenhams, grateful for the distraction from the storm, welcomed him into their home. Days turned into nights. The storm raged on. The stranger lingered, becoming a comforting presence in the isolated mansion. Anne Tottenham, a young woman known for her beauty and spirit, found herself drawn to the stranger. His tales fascinated her. His gaze held a strange intensity. She enjoyed their late-night talks, their games of cards. She didn't notice the way his eyes sometimes seemed to glow. She didn't see the darkness that lurked beneath his charm. Night after night, the stranger joined the Tottenhams for their evening card game. He was always a gracious loser, laughing easily. But one night, something felt different. The air grew heavy. A chill spread through the room. Anne felt a shiver run down her spine. She tried to ignore the growing unease in her stomach. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. Section 4. The Devil's Hand. During a hand of cards, Anne bent down to retrieve a dropped card. As she reached under the table, she glimpsed something that made her blood run cold. The stranger's foot, the one hidden from view, was not a foot at all. It was a cloven hoof, twisted and black. She gasped, dropping the cards in her hand. The stranger froze, his eyes blazing with fury. The fire in the hearth sputtered and died. The room plunged into darkness. Anne screamed. The stranger, his charade shattered, rose to his feet. He was no longer the charming guest, his face contorted into a mask of rage. He stamped his hoof, and the floor trembled. A sulphurous smell filled the air. Then, with a deafening roar, he vanished. Section 5. Anne's Fate and the Lingering Curse. The family, horrified by what they had witnessed, rushed to Anne's side. She was pale and shaken. The experience had broken her. She refused to leave her room, haunted by the image of the cloven hoof, tormented by the memory of the stranger's demonic face. Anne never recovered from the encounter. She wasted away in her room, her spirit broken by the devil's touch. Some say the devil cursed her, condemning her to a life of fear and despair. She died within a year. Section 6. Echoes of Terror. Over the centuries, Loftus Hall has stood empty. Yet it is far from quiet. People claim to hear footsteps echoing through the empty halls. Doors slam shut on their own. Whispers of disembodied voices send chills down the spines of those brave enough to venture inside. Some say it's Anne, her tortured soul, unable to find peace. Others say it's the devil himself, forever linked to the mansion he once visited. Loftus Hall remains a place of fear and fascination. It stands as a chilling reminder that even in the grandest of homes, darkness can lurk just beyond the firelight. And sometimes the most charming smiles hide the most sinister of truths. The devil may have fled that stormy night, but his presence, like the echoes of Anne's terror, continues to haunt Loftus Hall.